Boom. We're back. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, man? We've got the world's first trillionaire was created today.
Oh, I actually missed the news. Is it Elon or?
It's Elon. Yeah, there's the SpaceX IPO today, so
Oh, Jesus.
that's fun.
Do you own any SpaceX stock?
I own zero SpaceX stock. Besides what the index funds automatically buy, because I think there was some interesting inclusion, like most brand new IPOs don't get included in index funds, but I think SpaceX got an exception.
Well, that's the nice thing about index funds. The boring, boring index stuff. Well, let's kick it off. So today we have a little bit of different, I guess, like angle or format. And basically something that we've been talking a lot about is how can we reaccelerate our LinkedIn growth? And I guess for people who don't know, like there was a period where probably between 12 and 18 months where we both grew pretty quickly on LinkedIn for a variety of reasons. And then also for a variety of reasons, we kind of put our content pretty much in maintenance. And even though it was kind of a necessary evil for us to do all the other things that we wanted to do, I don't know about you, but like I've found it very painful to, not get that dopamine anymore.
Yeah.
And so I've been texting you and I had this idea of like, what would it look like to just talk about all the things that we would probably go and do and try to do if we were, trying to grow on LinkedIn pretty quickly again. And we decided to like basically do it publicly as a podcast.
Yeah. And I think ranking the opportunities by kind of that investor framework, ICE, I think is what they call it, impact, confidence that it'll work, and ease would be really tactical for anybody who's listening. And for us, so we can come away with, the couple, because we have limited resources. So what are the actual couple things that we can commit to doing?
Yeah. I love that that framework for organizing them. Where do you want to start? Because I think, hit me.
A little extra context maybe would be useful. So I think Daniel and I both started posting in summer of 2024. Daniel is at, what are you at? 30
almost something? 35.
35. So I'm at 26, 27, somewhere around there. And I think I have my stats pulled up. So in October of 2024, I had 3,000 followers. And by August of 2025, I had 20,000. And so that 10-month period, I grew from 3,000 to 20,000. And then since, I've grown by like 6,000 followers. So it's been way slower. And then I think it's been like 8 months since. So like, at least half as slow. I imagine you have a similar story there.
Yeah, very similar. I'm pulling up my tablet to see my exact analytics. I do know that I started posting consistently and taking it seriously on July, August of 24. I do remember too that I crossed 10K followers January of the following year, like this, by the end of that year. So in 6 months, I went from 600 followers to 10,000. And then I think by the end of last year, I was at like, let me just pull up the stats. I went, but it's been pretty similar. I got to 10K pretty quickly. Then I double again in like probably 6 to 8 months. And then from there, it's been like very, very, it's been steady, but much slower relative to the previous kind of period.
Cool. And LinkedIn followers, we don't really care about, but what we do care about is that correlates very highly with the number of email subscribers we get from the platform, the number of booked calls and clients that we get from the platform as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. Well, I think that gives everyone a lot of context. Maybe we can touch on really quickly, like what we personally see working right now with our own content, and then dive into some stuff, missed opportunities, stuff we were doing before. What do you think about that?
I like that. Maybe So you're saying things that we're seeing work with our own content right now?
Yeah, and I mean, I work with a bunch of clients too.
Yeah.
So
Okay, how about we do, but like I think a walkthrough of like where we're starting right now, like what are the things that we're doing, like what does our quote unquote strategy look like, and then from there we can kind of double click on the things that we're seeing work, and then from there we can transition to the things that we would add or change, do differently.
yeah, that works
Cool.
for me.
Want to start?
Sure. So something I've noticed is across my account and client accounts is right now I'm seeing the raw content perform better. And so images of your raw content, meaning like a screenshot of an email or something that a picture you take from your phone, that kind of thing in terms of media. I also see personal, anything that's personal. So if you go hyper tactical, that's great. But if it has an element of a story that you can tie in, and maybe there's a picture of you at a conference or something like that, I just see that performing significantly better. So that's something I'm trying to add like into my strategy, just high level. Yeah. Right now I'm posting daily, usually 7 times per week, sometimes 6 times per week. And I have media with every post. I spend time on the hooks to make sure that the hooks are good. I'm usually doing a couple of 2-step posts every week. So I'll just say, hey, if you want XYZ resource at the bottom, you can get it, but that's after a regular value post.
Yep.
I'll do my content assistant will prep like 3 posts that I could repurpose for the following week. And so I'll do like three or so posts are repurposed, and then usually 3 or so posts are net new. What other like categories am I missing or that you want to know about?
I think that covers most of it. Anything kind of outbound or social selling related?
No, not a lot. I don't have a lot of that right now. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers what I'm doing. A lot of my content is being sourced from other platforms as well. So I'm looking at X to see what did well. Sometimes like Instagram now is becoming a good platform to see like, oh, this content's performing. So like where I'm getting content from is a lot of times it's other platforms instead of just LinkedIn focused.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Any giveaways? How often are you doing giveaways now?
Giveaways, I would say not maybe once or twice a month instead of, previously it was weekly.
Daily. Every day.
Daily. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I have these caffeine patches that I'm trying, and
nice.
You have to remove. That's the only annoying thing. You have to remove them. I think we're in pretty similar spots. So I'm also posting daily. The nuance is that I'm actually repurposing way more content than I would like. Probably at this point, I'm repurposing, like, out of the 7 posts that I make on a given week, probably 80% of those, like 4 to 5 are repurposed, and like 2 to 3 are net new. Usually on the lower end, like 2 of them. And it's usually like on the weekends where I have less things going on that I feel like, oh, let's take a crack at just writing something off the cuff, and just post it right away. I'm doing 2 steps pretty consistently though. Like even though the posts are repurposed, I do try to like come up with a new hook and a fresh piece of media for every single post that I'm repurposing. Sometimes I might also update or upgrade the 2-step CTA, or if it didn't have a CTA, I might add the CTA so we have more opportunities for people to engage with those and collect email subs. On the giveaway front, I'm doing similar to you too, once or twice per month. I've been trying to ramp it up again, but it's been hard to keep it like weekly.
2 steps are almost daily, it looks like.
Yeah, almost daily. I would say. There might be days where I miss them, but like probably like at least 5 times per week I do one.
Okay.
Something that I haven't been doing a lot of is linking, like putting a link on my content. And I know some people, yourself included, I think, say that it doesn't impact reach. I do see like a drop in engagement whenever I have a link for whatever reason.
So
Maybe
I think
yeah.
that it doesn't give you the bonus reach that a two-step gives you. You don't get you don't get a decrease in reach compared to just a regular post, but a two-step, if you get those extra comments, you tend to get more reach.
Fair. But I think that's it. Did I miss anything or anything that you're curious about?
So most of it is being repurposed right now.
Mm-hmm.
How often did you say you're doing giveaways?
Once or twice per month. Probably twice per month.
Okay. So similar to what I'm doing. I think the thing that stands out to me is you're doing way more two steps still, and like it looks like it's helping.
It is.
I see a decent number of comments coming in on your regular posts.
No, not like the good old days though, but yeah.
I think your images also have they've been really good, and you're probably using AI for some of those, and you've got a good amount of personal images too.
Yeah,
but I'd say that's been an upgrade. It's very aligned with your the background color of your profile. So that's kind of nice.
The other thing I've been doing that's kind of related on your note is if you scroll all the way up, that one actually no, but like the one underneath, you can see it's so like if you expand the post, it's so lowercase. So I'm trying with the more I call it vibe writing. So I'm vibe writing, kind of being way more flexible with grammar, no capitalization, and those I have very little data so far, but some of those have been outperforming the others. So curious to see how that goes. Yeah,
I like that you have a good mix too of the this. I would say it's a screenshot,
more raw,
right? Yeah, more raw versus some stuff that's quite professional.
Yeah,
this. Cool. Yeah, that all makes sense to me. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. In terms of like average impressions per post, right now I'm I would say on the really low end, if I have a terrible post, it'll be like 700 impressions. I would say the average though is getting like 2,000 or 3,000, with, some outliers that are, I think I showed you a few this last week that got like 60,000 or 30,000. But for the most part, I'd say I'm getting like 2,000 to 3,000 impressions a post.
Same. I would say my better ones are doing 2,000 to 4,000, and then the okay ones that are not doing terribly, but doing okay are probably in the 1,500 to 2,000 range.
Okay. Yeah. So like this one today is slow start. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've had quite a few posts lately that have a really slow start like this, but then they end up doing okay.
Yeah.
Like yesterday's, I thought was going to be terrible, but it's at 2,700 impressions.
Same.
Yeah, so I'm getting like 1,900, 2,200. These are the ones, 64,000, 29.
Yeah.
1,700, 1,000, see 800, 4,700. Just give me an idea.
Yep.
Okay. So that's where we're at right now. We both want to grow faster. We want to grow our email list faster. So let's dive into opportunities.
Cool. Do you want to start there since you started with what you're currently doing?
So we've grown our LinkedIn and email list primarily from viral giveaways. So why did we stop doing this? That's a good question. But that's the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah.
That's the big tactic that, and ideally that's with new lead magnets too, because those just tend to perform best. You can repurpose, but it gets a little bit stale. So I think that's the number one lever for both of us. Would you agree?
I agree. I think the only nuance though is that, and like maybe this is something interesting to dig deeper into, but like they're definitely not, even though they can still work, they don't feel nearly as effective as they were. And so with that in mind, there's been a few questions that I'm asking myself, which are, first, how can we, is there something that we're not currently doing besides not doing them that we could kind of change or iterate on to make them more effective when we do them? And then the other one is there like an equivalent tactic right now that we're not using that could be equally effective, but we just don't know of, or we're not, trying.
Yes. I'm wondering if the best way to go through this, because we could go deep on every single one, or
Fair.
we could just give our high level thoughts on kind of the list that we have.
Mhm.
Like, what do you think? What's the best way to approach this?
I was thinking about this. I think we could probably kind of rapid fire a lot of like upgrades that I think we could probably make, and then maybe go deeper on the more interesting ones.
Cool.
Do you like that?
Yeah. So I'll name a couple, and then you've got a nice list that you created. So, the one that got 60,000 plus impressions, it was a viral Reddit post, and I was giving my commentary on it, and it was, it was tangential to my niche, not directly related, but that's something that I'm like, I should probably do that more often. Just find, I've done it now with tweets too. So like someone posts something somewhat relevant on Reddit or Twitter that goes really viral, and I give my commentary on it. I want to do those more. That's one. Another one is curating marketing, like a YouTube video or a book or a really comprehensive article, something like that. So it's just the clear, like, don't spend 30 minutes watching this, spend 2 minutes and get all of the insights. Very clear value proposition.
Yep.
So those are two types of posts I'd love to do more. I haven't done the pitch in public posts in a while. So I think those work for lead gen and for growth. And then 2-steps, I think I should be doing those more often.
Yeah.
And weekly viral giveaways. Those are we have probably some overlap there, but those are the ones that come to mind for me.
Yeah, I'll mention then the ones that I don't have overlap on. So for me personally, just creating more net new content, because there's a correlation whenever I create net new things that are interesting, they usually perform better than just repurposing the hits. Yes. That one's one. This is actually kind of underrated, but like I remember doing my peak growth periods, I've had this habit where I would look at my data every single week, because it essentially forced me to like do this kind of exercise that we're going through and like identify all the things that I was either doing well or that I could do better. And so I had that feedback loop in place. The other one is just having like some sort of group of people to engage with. Like we've had this in the past where we comment every single day and engage with with each other's post every single day. I don't think we're currently doing that, and so like just getting back to that and potentially even increasing the amount of people that we do it with, I think it's another easy lever. This is kind of related to the content audit one, but like same or similar idea. Instead of looking at my data and seeing what's working and what's not working, you can also do that with other people. And so like in our case, we have team members who can help us go and research other creators, and then we can see what's working for them and how we could either steal it or implement a similar, our own version of that.
Yes.
And then those are really it, because the other ones that I had on my list kind of overlap with yours.
I think you had viral drop collab as well.
Oh, true. So yeah, that one, I mean, if we're doing viral drops, why not do a collab, especially for the two of us. We should do more of those, for example.
Yes. Okay. So those are, and then I think you had a few new things. So outbound connection requests was one.
Yeah. So the ones that I just rattled off were things that I was doing at some point, but I stopped doing or put in maintenance. I had another category, which I think was also interesting, which is net new things that I haven't really tried that I think could have positive impact. And we're sending out outbound connection requests. That's just, as you know, one way to grow your audience at will. I've seen this format of like moving infographics, and maybe that's not the best way to describe them, but like it's like a infographic that's like a GIF and it moves. And I've seen some people go pretty viral with those. And then I don't know if you have data on this, but I've also been seeing some people post twice per day, and I think there might be something interesting, especially when you do have a library of content. But yeah, those were the 3 that I had there.
Okay. So let's go ahead and drop these in. I'll share my screen.
Cool.
So we've got the tactic, impact, confidence, ease. We could just rank them 1 through 10 in terms of all of those. And I guess while I'm kind of moving these over, any other high-level tactics, strategies that would be worth including here?
I don't think so. I think this is pretty this is
stuff that's changing on LinkedIn or that AI is making different.
Maybe your point of the more raw, less polished content. I don't know what the exact tactic is there, but maybe it's a number of selfies that you post each week, or I don't know how you would quantify it, but
raw media, perhaps. And maybe even the vibe writing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's come to a consensus on each of these. So in terms of impact, weekly viral giveaways 1 through 10, my vote would be 10. You?
Okay, let's define impact real quick. So impact is how likely they are.
The objective is to grow our LinkedIn, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What's if this were to work, how big of a difference does it make?
Great question. Okay. Or great way to define it. I think I would probably give it a 8 or 9, and I wouldn't give it a 10 just because I found it's it's gotten less effective than it used to be. But
okay, we'll say 9.
Cool.
It's kind of in between. Confidence that it will work. I would say I would give that an 8, and that's kind of going with what you were saying, which is it going to work as well as it used to?
Yeah.
If it works, impact's really high.
Yeah.
But my confidence is an 8.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Ease, I would say, is maybe a 6. And I say that because it takes a lot of effort to create new lead magnets.
Especially if you want them to perform, because there's also a correlation where whenever I had those those very rapid growth periods, I wasn't only creating this pretty consistently, I was also spending a lot of time on the asset, on the post. We would go on each other's posts and give feedback on each other's. I would agree that it's probably a 6.
Okay, we'll jump to 2 steps. You're already kind of doing these, but I would say impact's probably been pretty high, in terms of growth, maybe a 7 or so.
Yeah, I think a 7. A 7 is
7.
Fair.
Confidence that it works, pretty high. Probably an 8 as well. Ease, very easy, a 9.
Yeah, I agree.
Pitch in publics. You've been doing some of these.
Yeah,
what would your
I
say
stopped.
For impact?
But for impact, I feel if you do a good job of selecting the person, they can be a 7 or 8.
Okay.
I'm curious your thought.
I'll say 8.
Yeah.
Confidence that it'll work.
Again, if you are intentional with the person that you're doing the pitch in public for, I think it's likely. I would probably give it a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'd give that one a 7. And then ease, I would say, I don't know. I know you have some systems around it. I feel like these are pretty intensive.
They are. It doesn't feel as intensive as the giveaway. Would you say that then the okay,
you're right. I think a giveaway is more intensive.
Yeah, probably a 7.
Maybe we should make the giveaway a 5 then. And make
okay.
the
Fair.
pitch in publics a 6.
Okay.
All right. Curated posts. So this is watching a video, reading an article, and curating it. We've both seen these work well. In terms of impact, I would probably give it a 6 or a 7.
I feel I feel those, again, the nuance being who'd you feature on the post. Those, if you do a good job and they can be pretty, they can go pretty viral. Especially, I think the key is to feature something or someone who is active on LinkedIn and who's likely to engage with it. And if they have a massive or a relatively big following, that gives you a nice boost. But I agree that probably not as impactful as the giveaway. So maybe, what were you gonna say? Like 6?
6 or 7.
I would give it a 7 at least.
Okay. Confidence that it works. This one's a little bit, in my opinion, it's a little bit lower because I've done a fair amount of these, and yes, they have the potential, but a lot of them just are average performers.
Yeah, there's less guarantees there because it's just, you're kind of betting on them to engage with it.
A 5?
I think a 5 feels fair.
Okay. In terms of ease,
I do find them, and I'll admit, like with AI, like not to say that you're just gonna, delegate it, and yeah, I would say like
9?
an 8. I would say like an 8.
They're pretty easy to do. I called these Reddit posts, but it's basically finding a viral piece somewhere else and commenting on it.
Like almost like
a reaction.
Yeah, not trendjacking necessarily, but yeah, like a reaction post. I haven't done this, so I'm curious your take on impact for those.
I'm going to start on the opposite side. I'll say these are super easy to do. So I'm going to give it like a 10 actually for ease. Basically like a tweet screenshot.
Do you have some sort of like system for finding them, or is it just like scrolling Reddit and?
Yeah, it's pretty organic for me.
Okay.
Impact would be, I mean, that post earlier this week got 60,000 impressions. I've seen these work pretty well. If they work well, I would give it similar to curated posts. I'd say 7.
Cool.
And then confidence that they work, I'd say these are similar to curated in almost every way. Okay. Weekly data feedback loop. How much impact do you think this has?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like on any given week, it's probably not as huge because you don't see like a 15 or a specific number of follower growth just because you did that once. But I feel like it does compound. My take would be something like 8 with the asterisk of if you're doing it consistently. But I'll be curious to hear your opinion on that one.
What are you looking at? Just what worked well impressions wise? What was the best post?
Yeah, essentially my midwit approach is like, okay, let's find the 2 best performing posts of the week and let's try to figure out what worked well or what was it about them that made them perform so well. And let's ask ourselves, okay, how can we implement or take action on those insights then immediate next week?
Okay. I agree with you. I think this is an 8. Confidence, I would say, is also quite high.
Yeah.
That this will make a difference.
Agreed.
And then ease, I would say, it's very easy. It probably is a 5-minute session at the beginning of your content workflow.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be complicated.
So a 10? Or a 9?
A 9, yeah.
Cool. Group of engagement. So I'd say we look at this in terms of just me and you. That's like the easiest way.
Yep.
We could add a person or 2, but impact. What do you think?
I do think it has a meaningful impact. Probably 8 to 7, I would say.
Okay. I'll give it an 8. I agree.
Yeah.
Especially early on the post. Confidence, pretty high.
Yeah.
9. Ease, also pretty. We're both busy, but probably doesn't take. It takes us 1 minute to do it.
Yeah, I feel like once we're in the flow, yeah.
Okay, market research. So this is looking at other people and seeing what's working.
Yeah.
Impact.
These feel similar to the weekly data feedback loop. Although it's also like the nuance is that I feel like it's slightly less valuable just because the data isn't yours. Like, and like it's on other people's accounts, and there might be like it might be skewed for one reason or another. So I would probably give it like a 6 or 7.
Yeah, I was thinking 6. Confidence is also, in my opinion, like a 6.
Yeah.
And then ease is also it's a little bit harder to do.
Yeah.
We'd have to delegate it probably to somebody else.
Agreed. Yeah, so like a 6.
Yeah. We'll do a 5.
Okay. Just to not do
Avoid the
666.
devil's number. Okay, bad luck. Superstitious. Viral drop collabs impact.
I think it's pretty high, dude. I think
but it's also not weekly.
Yeah, fair.
Like this would be monthly, so I'd say the
Yeah.
impact's lower than viral giveaways. So maybe
Fair.
like a 7 or 8, just because of less frequency.
That's fair. I would give it an 8 still.
Okay. Confidence pretty high because there's an email list involved.
Yeah.
Would you say 9?
I would say 9. Yeah. And
Okay.
then I would say pretty easy if you're already doing the weekly giveaways.
Okay. So easy with the caveat. We'll give it an 8.
Mhm.
The caveat is if you're already doing these.
Mhm.
Outbound connection requests. Impact. So at our level of followers, you can send about 200 a week, and about, call it 75 people a week can accept.
Okay.
50 to 75. So you get 200 to 300 new followers per month just from that. That's the impact. Where would you rate that out of 10?
Not very high. Actually, I think the only disclaimer there, or like the only nuance, is that if you do a good job filtering and kind of prospecting, or like choosing who you're doing the outbound connection requests to, like those can be very high signal followers, you know, versus like random people. But
if you have an outbound strategy, the impact, if we were looking at impact, not in terms of followers, but in terms of lead generating potential, I'd say that's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But we're just basing this right now on followers. So maybe like a 5 or 6.
I think a 5 is fair.
Confidence, that's very high.
Yeah.
10. Ease, I would say not high. You need either an automation or a VA to do this for you.
Well, okay. I guess though, if you do have the help, it's a pretty easy thing to delegate.
And we do.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So I guess we could say for us, this would be quite easy to implement.
Yeah.
Like a 9?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Especially because these, I think in your experience, are more effective without the note, right? And so you just literally send a connection request.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then after, you can send a note after they accept if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can decide what we want to implement. This does feel like it'd be easy. Moving infographics. I don't quite understand what those are.
Let me see if I can.
Infographics that literally move. They're like it's a GIF.
It's a GIF. Let me see if I can chat you an example. Oh, yeah, dude, people are going ham with this now. Chat.
Send me it in the chat.
Boom, there you go. So yeah, it's basically imagine an infographic, but instead of it being a still image, it moves, and so you'll see that one. Boom.
Okay.
And then it has all this little animation effects.
Okay. In terms of impact, how do you feel?
I don't know. I've seen some people I think that the whole argument for them, besides the fact they're cool and like they kind of stop the scroll, is that they can increase the wall time, which overall helps with like the performance of the post. Based on like what I know, I would probably give it like a 6 or 7, if not lower.
Yeah.
But curious your take.
I was thinking 7. From the premise, like if it works, then it's probably going to work pretty well.
Yeah.
And it might just be a short-term arbitrage opportunity.
Yeah.
In terms of confidence of it working, that's where it drops for me. That's where it's like a 4.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 too.
Ease, just an AI tool.
Dude, I actually have no idea. I've been meaning to look into how to make them.
I bet the AI tools do it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like a 7 or 8.
Yeah. We're kind of flying blind on this one. We'll say 8.
I do think they take some work. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Even if AI tools do it, you probably have to, posting twice a day. impact. If it works, this is kind of the thing. I think it's really high if you can make it work. It could essentially be a double.
Do you have any data on this
I do.
from your clients?
Is actually more from, because I don't do two days for any of my clients, but I've been doing account breakdowns of all the biggest accounts and creators on LinkedIn. And the majority of them still post once a day, but some post twice a day. Justin Welsh has been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
Neil Patel does twice a day. I just did one. I can't remember. Someone was posting 75 times a month, so more than 2 times a day.
Oh,
so
wow.
like, I think if it works, it can really work. So, I mean, in terms of impact, I would say this is, in my opinion, I would give it a 9.
Yeah.
But in terms of confidence, I'd give it like a 4, because I think it only works for those accounts that have already won and like have massive traffic, and it doesn't affect them too much.
Because it's almost like you have a surplus of traffic relative to like the. Is that how you would think about it?
Yeah. Like if let's take like Cody Sanchez, for example, she could post anything and it'll go viral, period. Or Sahil Bloom. And so because they already have like this massive audience and they've quote won, I think posting more just really does double their traffic. Whereas for a lot of accounts like yours and mine, I think if I did a second post every day, like both of my posts would probably just have lower reach and my total reach would be about the same.
Yeah. Okay. So the premise is, or the hypothesis is, that this is worth it, provided that, or assuming that you can get more net new impressions than you would otherwise if you were just posting once.
And net new followers, because like with one client, when we started posting 8 times a day on Twitter, and then we switched to 5 times a day, their net follower increase, the impressions stayed relatively the same, but followers grew a lot because there was way less follower churn. That was a part of it. So yeah, that's my thought.
I would agree with that.
And then ease, it's also difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally double the output.
Raw media, I'd say impact's decent. Like I'd say maybe a 7.
I would agree with that.
Stands out.
Yeah.
Confidence also pretty high, like an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And ease, I think it's for some people it's hard. I think it's easier than polished.
You know, I feel like the amount of effort that goes into it might be less, but I feel like you have to, for a lot of people, you have to like fight the instinct to make it. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a skill of like choosing like the packaging of the post. But yeah, objectively, I would probably give it like a 6 or 7.
Oh, I was thinking like 9.
Sorry. Yes. Meaning I'm saying it's easy or relatively easy. So yeah, I would give it at 8 or 9.
Okay. You cool if we do 9?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And I will say, ghostwriting for clients, getting this is like a 6.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that from people, but to do it for myself isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Vibe writing, impact, thoughts?
Impact.
Unknown.
I don't have tremendous amount of data, but
it feels pretty human. I would probably give it the same. It does the same thing as the raw media.
Like 7, 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels authentic.
And it's even easier.
So we're going with...
I just give it a 10, to be honest.
Should we just match it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 10.
Because you don't even have to find, like with the media, you have to find the image. In this case, like you literally just type it all lowercase.
Confidence it works. Where'd you put that one?
Like a 6.
Okay. Cool. Should we add these up?
Let's do it.
Is there a
yeah, I was going to say
calculator on... I didn't do a database. I just did a table.
I think you can turn it into a database real quick. Unless you prefer to do the public math.
Should we do some public math?
Yeah.
17 plus 5, 22. Here we go.
Okay.
17, 24, 13, 21, 13, 20, 12, 22, 17, 25, engagement group 18, 26, market research 12, 17, 17, 25, yes,
For
19, 24.
For the people listening, we're doing we're summing
19.
up or adding up all the numbers. That's why we're
Yeah, 17, 24, 16, 23. Okay, we got it.
boom.
So let's bold the top ones. So we got engagement group is number 1 at 26. Followed by viral drop collabs, weekly data feedback loops. Those are the top 3.
With the 2
weekly viral giveaways didn't make it quite up there, actually. 2 steps, you're already doing that, so that's nothing new for you. But for me, raw media and 2 steps are up there.
Yeah.
And
if you combine them,
Outbound.
That's the other thing. If you stack them, right?
Yeah. Outbound connection request is actually up there too.
Yeah. This was actually helpful because I hadn't thought of kind of assigning a value to each of them, and I feel like that really makes it much easier to like really prioritize which ones to do.
Yeah, and I don't want to follow this blindly either, because at the beginning we both said this would probably have the greatest impact. The reason why it scored low is because it's not easy to do, but it still might be worth it.
100%. Yeah, I think that's probably day one or one of the exceptions there.
Okay, so everyone who's watching this and wants to get value from this podcast, like you can see right here what's the most valuable, and you can decide for yourself what you want to do. But for us, Daniel, like what do you want to do? Should we make that decision right now, or do you want to marinate on this a little bit?
No, let's take let's make some decisions and move with it. I mean, the engagement, like we can just start commenting on each other's posts.
All right, engagement group done. We'll start that tomorrow.
Yep.
I will commit on weekdays, Monday through Friday. I'm not as sure on weekends.
All good. Let's do it.
I'm down. I'm absolutely down to do weekly data.
I agree. Yeah.
Feedback loop. So we'll both do that. These are easy as well.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like starting with the easy because that's
low-hanging fruit.
Very low-hanging fruit. Viral drop collab once a month. It's easy. Like you and I could just do it together, and like we don't have to. We can find other people. That makes it a little harder, but are you down to do that once a month?
Yeah, especially if we're gonna do one every week or try to do one a week.
Yeah.
What else is there?
I will add more 2 steps. I'm not even going to write that down. I already do it once or twice. I'll just make it more regular.
Yeah. What about the raw media?
Raw media. I'm also already doing that pretty frequently. So I feel like I don't need to make any edits there. What do you think? Do you need to?
I feel like I do a decent job of like mixing it up with my content. One thing, this is kind of tangential, but like one thing that I have thought of is maybe once per quarter, and this is kind of easier for me because my wife is a photographer, but like doing like a I don't even know what to call it, like a lifestyle photo shoot where it's not like me posing for a headshot, but like more so like going to a cool place and then having someone take pictures of me while I do shit, so I can then use those pictures as nice looking pictures that look almost like casual or like spontaneous for like content.
It's a good idea.
But yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm also
I wouldn't
posting on IG now, so like I could try some videos in my content just for fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we won't write that down, either of us.
Yep.
Vibe writing. I'd be down to write that down and give it a try.
Yeah, I'm
basically just lowercase everything, right? That's what it means.
Don't spell the secret, Matthew.
Just write everything in lowercase, and you're good.
And then
ChatGPT changed to lowercase.
actually though. The last one is the outbound connection request.
Outbound connection requests.
So the only friction that I see there is like me having to go and create the list for my team to go and do that for me.
Yeah.
You've done it. I don't know, like maybe I'm overestimating how hard it is, but
it will take you less than 30 minutes. Oh, you'll have to export it to Sheets. That's the part that
it's annoying.
And it can take a little bit of time. I use Phantom Buster for that. I think we should both do it. We have the team, and like it's pretty low hanging fruit.
Because so real like high level overview of the steps. So you created the list with Sales Nav.
Step 1, choose who you want to go after.
Okay.
Step 2, create the list in Sales Navigator and use whatever filters you have available.
Yeah.
Step 3, export that list to Sheets. Step 4, use an automation tool or give it to your assistant to go and send X number per day.
Have you seen any flags or potential issues with those automations, or that one's pretty safe?
With the automation tools?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For that specific use case.
Flags.
Yeah. Okay. So it's better to just do it manually with your team if you can.
If you have a VA who can, then we do this for our clients and we do it manually.
Okay. Makes sense.
I'm going to write it down. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if I can do it on once per month, create a list and then give it to my team so they do it.
If you get a list of 2,000, that's going to last for 3 months.
There's no limit to like how many people you can put in there?
No, you can get a big list.
Okay. Well, then it's pretty high leverage.
All right. What about giveaways?
Well,
Will
I
you
think
commit to that?
I would like to be honest.
Yeah.
I would like to, especially because we do have resources to like, it's not like we're doing every single step completely on our own.
Okay. Well, there we go. We got our
list. Yeah. How many things are there?
Engagement group, super easy. Data feedback loop, super easy. Viral drop collab is going to be super easy since we're committing to giveaways.
Yep.
Vibe writing, super easy. Outbound connection request. So most of these are like super, it's a lot of stuff, but it's super easy.
Yeah. And things that we were, for the most part, doing before. So we just need to get back to doing those. And there isn't a lot of like figuring things out there.
Yes. And then I might still do some of these other things just like on a weekly basis when I feel it.
Yeah.
Feel like it.
Yep.
Cool, man. I think that's a pretty tactical pod.
Yeah, that was productive. I'm glad we did it, and hopefully people found it helpful.
Awesome.
Boom.
That's the pod.